What is going on YouTube? Hater back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. So guys, yesterday we talked about the S&P 500, basically retesting what could be a major double bottom formation here. You can see we had some sort of double bottom forming here, and we had a neckline that was clearly set yesterday. And if we had broken through and closed above the neckline, it would potentially allow us to continue the rally and swing to the upside, which could mean that we maybe had a soft bear market here, which is definitely a good sign. We did manage to to drop and continue to drop a total of, I think, 20%, 20.9%, which means we just grazed what could have been a bear market. And surprisingly, we didn't close there. We wicked all the way back up, closing at 19%, which is much better here, meaning we didn't enter a bear market. And then immediately after doing so, we immediately started to see, markets swing back up. This was a possibility that I had discussed. We don't know for sure if we're going to continue to dump lower here. I am going to give you guys my analysis on the stock market and the S&P 500, but so far we look really good. You can see back in the past here, we had formed a previous descending fractal here where prices were some sort of stair-stepping pattern continuing to correct lower. The second we confirmed closing above this major resistance here, we saw a pretty substantial run to the upside. From closing above here, we saw a run of about 8%, which isn't crazy, but you can see right now we formed another descending fractal here, which allowed us to finally break bearish. Not only did we break above what could be a double bottom formation here, we broke above the neckline, which is incredible, but you can also see closing above this downtrend here is starting to form what could be a potential run or swing back to the upside, which is something we have to talk about. Unfortunately, we're no longer seeing correlation between crypto and the S&P 500. You can see here we had a pretty substantial run, and you can see within the cryptos, we haven't really moved at all. We're still stagnant, flatline, and honestly extremely boring. We had a small trade opportunity we tried to capitalize on just a couple of days ago here, and you can see we really haven't done much. We pretty much moved back up to the starting point here, so we did get stopped out again. So I'm honestly taking my time now to consider investing back into here. Ethereum was the only profitable trade that we have. We haven't closed it yet, but I'll probably close later on after today's video. After closing below this support level here, we shorted this to the downside here. Small recovery back upwards, but we're still in profit, so I'm probably going to close that after today's video. But XRP, we haven't seen much of a movement at all, and Bitcoin just really has been stagnant, so we really don't need to enter a trade just yet on Bitcoin here. But we are going to be talking about what's going on with the markets, more about the S&P 500 in today's video. So definitely make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So guys, as you can see, top 10 cryptocurrencies, everything is pretty much just stagnant here. Even though it says we're down about 0.9%, it's really not much of anything. You can see we're down BNB 1%, XRP 2.6%, Cardano, 1 to 2% on average here. It's saying we're not even down 1. But you can see for the most part, these cryptocurrencies have still been stagnant and consolidating within their sideways channel here. Now you can see we did draw on some XRP charts right here. I'm really not even liking this. I'd rather just leave it alone. Leave it like this. There is clearly a downtrend here though, but we have been just trading sideways within what appears to be a pretty substantial sideways channel here. Jumping to the daily, you can get a better overview here where we've pretty much just wicked down below it, but we haven't been doing anything but trading sideways, which means there's no reason to be buying into XRP until we get some sort of clarity or movement or volume. As we do know, it seems like we might have topped off on the bear market here, because it seems like bulls are really holding us at the support level, which is a good sign. We're also extremely oversold in the daily, and we're oversold on the weekly, which also signifies, hey, this might be the lowest point. We don't know though. It goes beyond just XRP though. You can see Ethereum as well has pretty much just fallen stagnant here. Yes, we have dropped lower here, and you can see we are trending at the bottom level here, but I don't think it has much more room to move lower. We weren't necessarily oversold as much as XRP and Bitcoin was, so now we're pretty much at that oversold level. This might be the lowest point we move to here, and we're pretty much falling stagnant. But again, I wouldn't recommend trading cryptos right now. You can even see Bitcoin here has done nothing but trade sideways. This is the 4-hour, and we've done nothing but move sideways. Since breaking down into here, we've been trending for 18 days now, almost 19 days of sideways movement where prices want to stay above 28.7 or 28.6, and they want to stay below 31K. So there's been zero movement, no volume, zero volatility. There's no reason to trade this. The only reason I would consider trading this is when we get the confirmation, is when we get closure either above or below major supports or resistances here. You can see for the most part, we are in a very critical major timeline of support here. This is a major support for Bitcoin here. And if we manage to close below here, there's really no support up until $20,000. And even then we could pull all the way down to $10,000 here. So a correction downwards would lead us to an immediate drop to 20K. You can see right around this level and right around the first peak that we had here. Otherwise, we're pretty much just holding on for dear life here. So everything really comes down to how we react within this channel here. Obviously, sideways consolidation, zero volatility within crypto is not normal. It's kind of taboo. So once we get confirmation of closure below this support, we know to short. Once we get confirmation above this resistance, we know to buy and long. Now, that's pretty much the update for the S&P, or sorry, for the cryptocurrencies here. I want to talk more about the S&P, as that seems to be more of a moving catalyst right now than crypto. Crypto's been trading stagnant for almost 3 weeks now. It's not really something I want to pay attention to. There's no movement, there's no trades, there's no profit. The S&P, on the other hand, is totally different. Now, as I said earlier in today's video in the intro, we are breaking out of a massive descending fractal here, which is a very good sign. This is a sign of recovery here. It was expected because we bottomed off. We became oversold, and typically when we do, we see runs. Now, there's multiple confirmations that lead us to say, hey, we might actually be heading higher, although we are going to be heading to some sticking points of resistance. As you guys know, this descending fractal are typically bullish until we, or bullish bias, and we continue this downtrend until we break through the major resistance here, which we did, confirmed closing above and saw a swing to the upside here. Not only that, there is some sort of descending a double bottom formation here. You can clearly see the one trend, the clear neckline, and then another drop causing a double bottom. Resistance trying to break through the neckline, but we just managed to close above that, which is a huge sign that we could see markets start to recover. This is a very bullish sign of swings to the upside here. Problem is now we're facing some big resistance. I'm shocked that we fell below here. I didn't buy in until this level here. This is the lowest point I've bought into the market. I missed this opportunity here. I've just been waiting patiently to kind of see how we've been moving. And honestly, buying in at 3,800 or buying in at 4,100, it's so insignificant that it doesn't make a huge difference here. I would have been buying maybe 6% or 5% lower, which honestly is not a big deal here. But you can see right now, the fact is that we did bottom off at this level and we're starting to swing up. The main important thing is jumping to the weekly. This is where things get quite interesting. You can see here what we were talking about is we expected, and we can go back months. We could go back months into the past here. I mean, I could pull up on my YouTube. Now, the likelihood that I actually find a video that shows this is probably slim, just, you know, going off the bat here, but we can go back like 5 months or 4 months. The likelihood that we see a video like this is probably slim, where I talk about the S&P 500, but I just want to skip this and see, or I'll just move on from here. But we do typically talk about the S&P 500, so I'd like to see, had I mentioned this a couple of months ago, I might have not talked about it. So now I probably didn't in this video. I'd have to the S&P's right here. We are in this, so I went back too early, but once we hit this top here, we started to correct lower, and that's pretty much where I started to put a target on the S&P, swinging back down to a more neutral level, which is right here, which is what we're doing. Not only have we swung back down to retesting the moving average here, this also maps extreme oversold on the weekly charts, and it also maps out the fact that we've bottomed off at this moving average here, which are big signs that we've hit a lower point. We've talked about the fact that there's possibilities we could start to trend inside of here. We talked about the possibilities of seeing a major dump like this. Now, we don't have a major catalyst besides inflation, like the pandemic, that caused a major dump in the markets here, but we'll see. I mean, even with the Feds increasing rates, we've seen in the past year in 2018, Feds continued to raise rates in 2018, and we continue to move up higher. So it's the rates that aren't really, the Fed rates aren't really causing the movements to happen with the S&P 500. So it's the fact that now that we know, okay, we're expected. The Fed rates have already started to happen here. So adding more doesn't really affect the economy as much as it did when they first started to impact it. Now people understand this. Now people have already switched to a more saving style of investing, and they're getting, their understanding of the market. So we might see a recovery, and hopefully this is the bottom, which marks a good buying opportunity here. We might actually be able to recover off this. We'll see. But probably after today, I'm going to transfer more money into the S&P 500 and start to buy more index funds here. But yeah, this could be the bottom, and we could start to see a swing up because we've bounced off this moving average and because we had oversold on the weekly. So we'll see what happens here. Otherwise, we have to be patient for crypto, but that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. Make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.